Okay, episode 6.
We're here. We made it.
Yep. Nolan missed the hat memo.
Yeah, dude. Sorry.
Gross.
It's my
It's
fault.
disgusting.
I think I
Yeah,
can
look at
probably
that
find
hair,
one.
dude.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. Here,
pressure.
I'll just do this.
Yeah. that
Make it
helps.
much worse.
Look better.
All right.
There we go. Nice and messy.
A little bit to talk about today. There's some updates in the music, TV, and movie world. So we can get right into it. First topic, IGOR, Tyler the Creator's new album.
Mhm.
I can start off with my take on it.
Okay.
I don't think anyone in the world actually likes this album. I just think you have the people of the world who are like, God, if I say I like this album, like it's, it'll really help me in the hipster community and the cuff pants community. So I listen to it and some of the beats are okay, but no one can listen to this album over and over and be like, that is a classic. I don't see it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I think that
vibe.
about most of his music. Like, I think his old music's all right, but like the rest of it, I feel like you have to force yourself to listen to.
I'm not really well versed in Tyler the Creator, so I don't know what his shit's supposed to sound like. From what I've read, this doesn't sound like him. But like I said, haven't listened to his old stuff, so I have no idea. Some of the beats were okay, but like there's a lot of repeating yourself, like the same line over and over and over and over, and he's not even really saying much at all, I feel like, and it's kind of hard to understand. Maybe it was just like the volume that I had it on, but it feels like the music is so loud that he almost felt like he was mumbling, like
the thing about Tyler,
I couldn't understand him.
Apparently he masks his voice because he like gets embarrassed by it, so he tries to mask it by the music. But like,
I mean, yeah, I could
know.
see that. It sounded really like, I don't want to say Kanye because that would be high praise, but it sounds like he tried to do like a Childish Gambino kind of thing, like just with the music, and like a Kanye kind of thing where it's not like rap, but it's just
like abstract almost.
Yeah,
like Gorillaz kind of vibes at times. Like it reminded me sometimes of Gorillaz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan. Like I said, I got like halfway through a couple songs and he was saying the same shit over and over, and I just skipped to the next one. So
yeah, I mean, I gotta talk to, like, I've talked to people who really like it, and I keep asking them what they like about it. They're just like, Tyler's just like a genius, but like I can't get a specific thing people like about it. So because like I try to look at stuff from people's perspectives, and I'm like, okay, you know what, like, I can see how people might think fucking Migos is good, but like, I don't know how there's people who would go out and buy this album. Like, I had trouble getting through the entire album and all.
It's definitely not a repeat listen for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Max?
I thought the first half was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good for the most part. I thought towards the end it started to lose me. I mean, let's face it, like, Tyler the Creator, he's not like even in the top 10 discussion for best rappers. I wouldn't even
20.
Yeah.
30.
So
50.
like, do his lyrics really matter?
Do we even consider him a rapper at this point?
Yeah, but I thought I really liked the first half. I thought it sounded pretty well. I mean, to be fair, I'm not like a huge Tyler Creator fan. I don't really know his work, so I don't know if this is like true to what he usually is. But I mean, when it did start to get towards the end, when it started to get kind of lyric heavy, that's when it started to kind of like lose me a bit. But I think it's like one of those situations where it's like you cannot listen to it like at random. Like, you have to listen to it all the way through because it flows together. Like, you can't just be like, I'll just listen to the 6-minute song. It's like, it's like towards the end, but just be like, oh, this is you. Be like, this is trash. But yeah, I honestly thought it was pretty good for the most part for the first half. But I would say that the last half, there were like, what was it? What's Good or whatever, that song? I did not like that song at all. That's when I started
I mean, I do want to give it a listen again just because, like you said, it flows together, which I like, and I appreciate albums like that. And I heard the theme of the album's like him going through a breakup. So I kind of want to listen to it again with that like in mind. I guess that's what his mumbling like saying.
I need to listen to it with lyrics.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe when some of the music videos come out, I'll get more into the songs or something.
Yeah.
And I was fully prepared to hate it too. No, I'm not gonna lie. I was really like, this is not gonna be good. And then the first song, it's Igor's theme. I was like, hey, this wasn't bad. And then I think that was probably I think is my favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
That and Igor's theme. But yeah, honestly, I was actually surprised. And I'm not like joking around. I thought it actually was pretty well put together for the most part for the first half regarding like the beats and stuff. But then like it got to the point where it kind of felt a little old. Like he was just doing the same thing for 40 minutes. And it got
That's how I felt too. Yeah.
It felt
because
kind
it
of
flowed together, but it almost like flowed together too much. Like it was almost like I'm listening to the same constant song.
Yeah, no, that's one of the takeaways too.
Yeah,
the negative takeaways for flows. You never know when the song really ends because it's just kind of the same thing. But yeah, I think that's why the second half wasn't as good, because it's like, okay, I'm just doing the same thing for literally 40 minutes. But,
that is funny that you say that too. I was listening to a couple of them, and I was just listening to it, but I was also like doing something, so I wasn't really like paying attention to it super hard, and I already couldn't understand him. But there were times where like the song would end and then it'd be on the next one, and when I would look down, I had no idea that it had changed. I thought it was just the same song, like for a long time. Like there's a 2-minute song, and then the next one was 4 minutes, and I thought it was the same song.
That happened to me a few times too.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have someone on to talk about it. Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon Stevenson. That's
where you at, Brandon?
I loved it. It's so
good. So Ty Dolla $ign was being interviewed yesterday, and he said his album's almost done, which is like, okay.
Great.
But then he said he's been working with Kanye on Yandi, and he said Yandi is almost done, and he said it is like one of the best rap albums he's ever heard. And he says each one of the songs has like 5 different versions, and Kanye just keeps like perfecting it more and more. So, I mean,
he did that to Life of Pablo as it was released.
Like, yeah.
Changing it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Hopefully it's amazing. Kind of reminds me of the process for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy a little bit, because he had a bunch of singers with him in like the studio and just kept perfecting it over and over. So, and I mean, that's probably his best album. So pretty excited for it.
It's ever going to get released.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I was about to say.
Is when it was supposed to come out.
Yeah. So
almost 6 months. 6 months. Well, maybe 7 later.
Yeah. Yeah. Which it's almost become like expected with Kanye. Like when he announces an album, everyone's like, okay. So like 4 months after that, like, you know,
like a spiritual almost thing. It's going to go more spiritual.
Yeah.
Everything.
I hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw, not to get like too like political, but there was a tweet today that said Kanye is objectifying Black culture to white people with his Sunday service things. And I was like, dude, will you just let Kanye like enjoy himself? Like, I don't even know what that means. Like, he's literally just like singing choir versions of his songs.
What does that even mean? What are they trying to say? What's that?
It said, it was like, the tweet phrased it like there were white people in the crowd to watch like the Black people perform a church service, and that Kanye was like objectifying like Black church services onto like white communities, is literally what the tweet said. And it had like 60,000 retweets, and people were like,
yeah, I saw that too.
True. Yeah. And I'm like, first of all, that makes no sense. Second of all, like, I think Kanye is just doing this because he like enjoys it. He said that multiple times. It just brings him happiness. Like, this guy literally cannot do anything anymore without being like destroyed. But I just thought that was annoying. Made zero sense to me. I think people just look to hate on him.
Yeah.
But
and anything they can do.
White people were in the crowd. Is that
yeah, they were mad. They were mad there were white people in the crowd, but like it wasn't just white people. Like there were tons of people in the crowd.
Isn't there a video? Like, yeah, it's like a huge. You can't even really tell from the video like who's white and who's black.
And I'm just like, if you're saying that, like every single person that goes on tour for a concert is objectifying cultures or whatever, because like, I mean, there's never strictly one race at a concert. Like I just
not because he's an easy target.
Yeah. It's people just need to let the guy do his thing. Like it's so annoying. But anyway, so DJ Khaled's new album, what's it called? Father of Assad, I think.
He's only said it 500 times on Snapchat every single day. Well, we got Father of Assad. All right.
I think the real question is why you have him on Snapchat, Nolan.
I don't. No. It's the little ads that are below the people that I follow, and he's always there for some reason. I haven't blocked him yet, but I need to. And every time I click on it, he'll be like, he's panning around in his room and there's shoes, and he's like, "Yeah, Father of Assad," but he's showing shoes. Like it doesn't even make sense.
I just want to know, like, at what point does the album become like other people's album? Because, like, you know, like some producers produce entire albums, but like the album isn't called, you know, Mike Dean presents whatever. Like it's like DJ Khaled doesn't sing in any of his songs. He just screams.
That's what I was just about to say.
And then other people come in. So like, how are these his albums? They're almost just like compilations of like rap songs that he makes the beats for. Like, I don't think that's his album. I don't know. Just because like producers like if Dr. Dre made the beats on an entire Eminem album, that would be called an Eminem album. It wouldn't be called Dr. Dre.
For sure.
How many songs are on the album?
I think like 15, somewhere around.
It's not very
There's 34
many.
features?
Yes. There's like
double
4 features a song. Yeah, it's like insane.
I could probably look. So, because I was talking about this with a buddy of mine, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, there's a stupid amount of features, and there's like 10 songs."
Yeah. And who do you think DJ Khaled pays those artists that money, or does his label pay the artists that money? Because like those features like Jay-Z and Beyonce would not come cheap.
Probably not. Are they? I mean, I didn't listen to the album. Are they on there?
Yeah, and you know what? One of the songs on the album is the one with Justin Bieber that literally came out like a year ago, I think. I forget what it's called. It's
God.
The One?
Yes, I'm the One.
They put that on there?
Yes, it's on the album. Isn't that song like a year and a half
crazy.
old?
That was like the song of like 2 summers
It came out
ago.
last summer. Because he made another song with the same people for this summer.
It was 2 summers.
No, it's 2 because he made the other song last summer, and everybody's like, "Oh, they're back at it."
No Brainer, and I was like, "This sucks."
Yeah, that one.
I'm pretty sure I'm the One's on it.
Wow. He's like, "Oh,
I
we
can't
gotta
find.
put this in there. People buy it."
It's just like, I don't know. I can't believe there's 15 songs.
That's nuts.
And I'm sorry, it is No Brainer, which that song's still really old.
Oh, No Brainer. Yeah.
That's still last summer, because it wasn't this summer. So shit.
Yeah, it came out 2018. So yeah, DJ Khaled.
I'm sure it's a bunch of singles, like whatever.
Yeah, it's got to be. And next, Lana Del Rey has a new song. She's a beast.
It was great.
I thought so too.
Cover of Sublime. Cover of their song Doing Time, and I don't know, it was awesome. She's got such a good voice. I'm excited for her to come out with a new album.
She really does. Yeah
She's one of the few artists where like I really like look for her vinyls and stuff because I think it sounds a lot better on vinyl. She's one of those artists too where I feel like she could be big in any generation. It's like her music doesn't really apply to now as much as it could in like the 50s or 60s, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like
got
her
the voice that carries.
Yeah. So yeah, her new song Doing Time was really good. But on TV now.
Yes.
Fucking horrible.
Here we go.
I heard everybody was satisfied and that there were no complaints.
Yeah. So Jesus. So, did you guys see the video of Aaron Rodgers that was released like
that was so funny.
That is the most spot on video I can reference to people because you can tell awesome. Aaron is like a real fan, and Aaron was so livid, like he was on the show and was mad, and he was so spot on. This episode, I was laughing like from the beginning. Like I'm like, what? Like none of it made any sense. There's probably 8 or 9 solid big storylines that were built up built up so high over the 8 seasons that ended up literally like not even meaning a thing. Like literally, like it was such superficial storytelling. Like, for example, Gendry, who you find out in the second season is Robert Baratheon's bastard son, and he might have an heir to the throne. And there were rumors that he might have been like Cersei's child that she had lost when her and Robert actually had a child together. And like people really thought they were going to go into that. No, the only thing that's mentioned is like at the beginning, they're like, "Oh, you're Robert Baratheon's son." Like, okay, like you must be the heir to his lands, and that's all that's ever mentioned of that storyline. And just another one, for example, like Arya trains for 3.5 seasons with these assassins called the Faceless Man, and uses the power to change faces one time throughout the entire series, and then it's never used again. She uses it to kill the guy who kills her brother, and then that never comes in again. And then just like, Bran, who 3 episodes ago was telling everyone, like, don't call me Bran anymore. I'm not Brandon Stark, is apparently Brandon Stark again, and didn't want to be Lord of Winterfell. And literally in the exact same scene, he goes, he's sitting there, and Tyrion's like, Bran, you have the best story, which apparently, like, having a good story means you should be king. Which Bran doesn't even have the best story, let me tell you. His story was so fucking boring when they would switch to it. And he was like, dude, it was. And he's like, oh, Bran has the best story. He should be king. And Bran's like, I don't want to be king. And then they talk a little bit more. And Sansa was like, Bran doesn't want to be king. He just said it. And Bran goes, then why do you think I came all this way? And it's like, wait, you just said you don't want to be king. Now you're saying you came all this way to be king. And it just, oh my God, dude. There's 40 minutes of walking in the episode. Like literally people just walking. There's a scene with Tyrion where he's pushing and pulling in chairs for 4 minutes. These writers were so done with this show. Like it could not be more obvious. It was just, did either one of you watch the finale?
I watched bits of it. Like I watched when Dany died. I watched they made Bran king because that was the part that pissed people off the most.
Yeah.
And those were the other 2 clips I watched. Like,
and
the dragon picked up Dany and was like, bye.
Which, the dragon has the decision-making process in his head to not kill the guy that kills his mom. He kills the object that he thinks symbolizes her death, and the Iron Throne is what people have been saying since dragons have such a high IQ. So that was fucking stupid, yeah. And then when Dany dies, she gets stabbed in the stomach and dies immediately.
I heard that was like in the first 20 minutes of the episode too.
It was, yeah. And nothing had happened to that point. Like it was all just like she had like given a speech, and then they were walking through King's Landing. And then Jon went to her, kills her, and that's like it. And she gets stabbed and doesn't even say a word. Like she dies immediately. So it was just like that would have been a great part for like, like the Game of Thrones is famous for like the great like monologues and dialogue, like Shakespearean like writing. Like that Tyrion has a really good speech in like season 4. And that would have been a great moment for it. And you could tell they were like, no, let's just have her die. Like just lay down and die. But I don't know. So some of the stuff, like Jon was a Targaryen, that didn't end up mattering at all. Like he ends up just going north with the wildlings. It was just it was dumb. And then they did the classic. So you guys know how the first book is called A Song of Ice and Fire. Sam, like the chubby dude, shows up to Tyrion and Bran, and he's like, hey, I just finished my book on the history of Westeros, and like slams it on the table, and it's like Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh yeah,
and
baby.
It was so cheesy, dude. It was like brutal. And a lot of people had thought they were gonna do that, but like the way they did it, a lot of people thought like Sam was gonna write it and close the book and kind of like put it on a bookshelf, and you would just see on the side that it was called that. But it was so like in your face, And he's like, yeah, it's a book I wrote called A Song of Ice and Fire. And
so they off George R.R. Martin even being the author of
yeah,
the
yeah.
show.
Which I'm telling you, I think what went wrong is, so this is the first season these writers have had like complete creative control. And he wasn't even on set this season. He's been working on the other books. And I think he said he gave them his outline for how he wanted the last season to go. And then he said a couple days ago he didn't like this last season. So, I mean, can only assume they didn't use the outline.
So they didn't use it probably.
It sounds like they didn't, because he said he didn't like this last season. So,
yikes.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, you feel bad for the guy. Like, the guy's life's work is put to screen, and like for 6 seasons, you know, it's his kind of what he wrote put to screen with kind of a few minor discretions. And then the last 2 seasons, it's just like, I think they completely ignored him.
Maybe he'll feel more motivated now to release those books. To be like,
that's what people are saying. That's what I hope. And I mean, dude, you know how much money he's going to make off the books now? Because so many people are going to want a different ending.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense. I would have liked to see Arya or Sansa on the throne. Someone else. Bran, it just doesn't make any sense. He's been mute for like 3 seasons. Like, he's just like chilling in a wheelchair all the time. And yeah, it's just and the way they left all the characters going off, it's just, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be like Lost, where people are like, yeah, it's a really good show, but like probably not worth your time because the last season ruins it. Because that's what people, and like that's what people say about Lost, is like, well, I wouldn't waste your time because the last season, you know, whatever. And like I like Game of Thrones, like, I don't know. My stepdad just started watching it, and I told him, I was like, it's really not worth it, because I mean, you might as well watch season 1 and then watch season 8, because none of the storylines in between matter. Like, it's at the end, it's very just simple storytelling. Like, there's nothing complex about it at all.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Okay, look, it seems like the Game of Thrones fans are like super, like, you know, picky and you know, very outspoken about their complaints. Can you imagine?
It's like Star Wars.
Make their Star Wars movies?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a disaster if they suck.
Dude, I'm really nervous about those movies, because Lucasfilm is going to have to be heavily involved, because I told you guys, so the one writer, I think D.B. Weiss, has no other writing credits to his name. And then the other one, David Benioff, wrote X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh,
so, and now they're writing Star Wars.
Great film.
They're writing a Star Wars trilogy.
So man, Kathleen Kennedy has got to be sweating right now. She can't catch a break to save her life. You know,
I know.
A year ago, this would have been a great idea. Like, oh yeah, the Game of Thrones people, yes. Now it's like, oh no. I know. Because I'm sure that's what replaced Rian Johnson's trilogy.
That's what I was going to say.
So they just can't catch a break to save their life.
They should have just been like, you know what? We thought The Last Jedi was a good movie. We're going to let Rian make his trilogy. Yeah. Because the thing with Rian Johnson is I think he just wanted to do something new. So if you gave him new characters, I don't really think people would have a problem with it.
Yeah, and I think people are a lot of lenient more on the spin-offs than they are.
Yeah, yeah. And he's a very complex storyteller.
Yeah, I just watched Brick not too long ago. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've heard it's good.
It's on Netflix, I think.
Very interesting.
Looper's great. So
I love Looper.
But yeah, dude, the last episode of Game of Thrones right now is rated a 4.3 on IMDb.
I was just about to say, that's what I saw.
I don't think they'd ever had an episode in the 7s before this last season.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I saw that Battle of the Bastards was like voted the best on our poll, and I was like, oh, I saw it like a 9.9 on IMDb.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder how the last season's doing.
Yeah. And I don't think, Max, were any of the last 3 episodes over 6? I don't know if they were.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
I think the last 2 were like 4 something, or maybe 5. I think it was close to 6, but I don't think they were over 6.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, I understand IMDb isn't like critics and stuff, but like that's how fans feel. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. They clearly either didn't have the time and were working with other stuff, or just didn't have the interest anymore to just dive into it. I was saying like, you know, like The Sopranos, their last season, like the finale is kind of like debated on, but everyone loves the last season, and HBO went to the writers and were like, do you just want to do the basic 12 episodes? And the Sopranos writers were like, no, we need 24 to tell the story. It's like, those are good writers. Yeah, because the last season of Sopranos normally has 12 or 13 episodes, and the last season has 24. And then, like, the Game of Thrones writers were like, well, we don't want to do 12, we want to do 6. So, like,
and they don't even have enough for 6.
Yeah, and that's just obvious that, like, they don't give a fuck, you know?
Well, why would they do that? I mean, if that,
I don't
I mean, if it's
know.
obvious they didn't care, why? They know this has such a hardcore following. Why just fuck it up on the last season? Why?
Like,
what were they trying to prove?
Put the capstone on the legacy. Like, they could have just played it safe, in all honesty, and just put John or Danny on the throne. And people would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
It would have been fine, yeah.
If they didn't want to really do it anymore, just didn't care, then just do what your fans want to get it over with.
Yeah. They went for the shock, like what they thought was going to shock the audience, and it really didn't shock the audience, and the audience wasn't happy with it either. So it was like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Like, it was literally like one of those, like the fucking Village or Lady in the Water. Damn. Yeah, bro. This last season of Game of Thrones was Lady in the Water, where he's tricking you and you're like, okay, it's still awful.
Good one.
It's the worst like insult to the show yet so far. It's the Lady in the Water.
And I like, this sounds crazy, but like, this would have been a show I watched for the rest of my life. But like, it's all the other seasons seem so much more meaningless now. Like, you're watching Arya train with these assassins, and like, originally you were like, oh, this is gonna be so cool when she's gonna like switch faces and stuff, and like, it never happens. Like, it's just there. The payoff was like non-existent for like anything. And there's people supporting it who are like, that was a great episode of television. Like, cinematography does not make a great episode of television. It can only carry it so far. So yeah, Game of Thrones finale, I'd give it like a 4 out of 10.
And I don't even watch Game of Thrones, but I feel bad for all the people. I really do.
Dude, it sucks. Like, I've watched every season. It's brutal. Right? Yeah. Go watch.
I don't know that pain. I got Endgame. I don't know that pain, but I'm sure. But like, that's how, because I feel right now that if Endgame was not good, I would have felt I probably wouldn't be here. I'd be dead. I would be 6 feet under right now. But
like, imagine if halfway through Endgame they turned Tony Stark into the villain, and Captain America and Tony Stark started, like, Captain America goes up to Tony Stark and stabs him, and all this bullshit. And then, like, they throw in these, like, twists that don't even make sense. And then at the end, all the Avengers, like, go on their own way and everything's fine. Mm-hmm. And then let's see, who would be the equivalent to Bran as leader of the Avengers? Like, they just make, like, Groot leader of the Avengers. that would be about the equivalent to this.
That's horrible.
All these people like Groot.
Yeah. So, yeah, Game of Thrones, I think the legacy of it's ruined. I mean, it was such a good show. Like, it was near perfect, but
what does that petition have now with all the signatures to redo it? What's it at?
Dude, they've got like a couple million now.
Oh, it's at a couple.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's been increasing because it had 1 million before the finale, so I can't imagine how many it has.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could do. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
They never were. Like, they never. Yeah. It never happens.
They never do anything, but I wonder if they'd issue a statement at a certain number.
We're sorry.
Yeah. Damn, we were drunk.
Just say
that
that's
entire
not canon.
season.
I don't know.
Yeah, pull some Terminator shit. In like 20 years, they're gonna we're gonna remake the final season of Game of Thrones.
They're gonna do time travel.
Yeah. Kit Harington's gonna be like 70. He's gonna be like, I can still play Jon Snow, guys.
Yeah.
So the same night as Game of Thrones, I don't watch it, but I know the Barry season finale happened, and I heard really good things about it. You watch it, right, Max? Like, are you up on it?
I love it. Yes, I'm all up to date on everything. Yeah, it's one of those shows. It's like I knew I would like it, but I just never got around to watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It is so good. It is. I mean, there's one episode I watched not too long ago. It's called Ronnie and Lily. and it is just so funny. I just showed my dad it too because but it helps when you know everything that's going on. But like, I just thought it was funny just to watch, and he thought it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good show. It's like a sleeper hit, honestly.
Yeah.
It's got dark tones to it, but it's also pretty funny. It's dramatic. It's got kind of all of it going on. It's got the romance to it. It's just really well put together. And Bill Hader, I mean, man, that guy is just so talented. I mean, he directs, writes some episodes, and he's obviously in it. He's what I was concerned about the most was taking him seriously as a hitman. I think that's what kind of was like, I don't know how he would be in that. But the guy, I mean, he's just so good in it. It's one I would recommend to anybody. It is really that good, and it's a quick watch too. Like, episodes are only like half an hour. There's like only 8 episodes a season.
Oh, really?
There's actually, like, while it is like a comedy show, there's like some really good hooks in there that get you wanting to like keep going and looking forward to next season. Like, after what happened in this last episode, the season finale, I was like, oh no, I can't wait for the next season to come out. But there's some great characters in there. I really like. There's a character named NoHo Hank, and he is just so funny. It's so good. There's just
are there like villains in it, or is it more of him like?
Yeah, so there's like some gang stuff in it. So he's got Fuchs, who's like his the leader of assigning him the hits and stuff. So he kind of goes back and forth with all the time. And then there's like the Chechens that and the Bolivians that he gets affiliated with, that they're kind of the bad guys too. But yeah, it has multiple kind of storylines going on, but they all come together really well.
Yeah.
It's just a great show. It's a really good show. I think more people should be watching it because I think it would become a lot more popular.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I'm gonna watch it after I finish Sopranos. You
have to. It is really that good. It's great. It's a quick watch. I finished it all in like 2-3 days.
Yeah, if it's only 30 minutes, yeah,
it was really easy to watch.
Yeah.
Plus, you'll just get
I'm excited. I like Henry Winkler a lot too.
He
awesome.
is phenomenal in the show.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
he is so good. Both of them won the Emmy for like best actor. I forget. I'm assuming it was a comedy show. But no, they deserved it. Both of them, especially Henry Winkler.
I'd like to.
Wow, he's gonna kill this.
Yeah, I'd like to see HBO kind of put their, full force behind Barry or something. Like, get it behind a good show instead of the big budget shows like Game of Thrones and stuff. Like, get it behind a show that has good writing and stuff. I know
great shows, great comedy shows on there.
Yeah,
excellent. Like Silicon Valley, that show is
Curb.
So good. Curb, yeah, I haven't watched Curb. I need to watch Curb. Actually,
I
might actually start that I have the next 2 days off. I actually might start that because my dad has all the seasons. But they have some great comedy shows on there. Silicon Valley is one that I absolutely recommend too. The first season when I watched it, I mean, it was fun. Like, when I go back and watch it now, I go, God, why was I thinking it? Because I wasn't too sure about it at the start, but it is so good. It's a very good show.
Have you guys ever watched Eastbound and Down on HBO?
No. I watched like half the first episode.
It's very funny. You have to have the type of humor, but it's Danny McBride basically just playing himself, and he's like this washed up baseball player who's like super roided, or he used to be really roided out, and he's like trying to make it back to the big leagues, and he has to like work his way up. It's hilarious, but yeah. So yeah, HBO. I don't know. I was gonna say, like, I think they're going to try to put all their advertising and everything behind Westworld now. And Westworld season 1 was really good, and season 2 was that good.
I was going to ask you if you'd seen it.
Yeah,
I think I cared too much for season 1 of Westworld. We can talk about it at a different time if you want.
Yeah.
I didn't care to watch the second season, honestly.
Season 1 is very slow. Like, which I watched season 2 because I'm like, season 1 of Game of Thrones is slow. But I think they're trying to force it. I will say Aaron Paul is going to be the main character of the 3rd season. So that should be pretty cool. The thing I immediately noticed with Westworld, Max, you can probably kind of attest to this too, is they don't make you care about any of the characters at all.
No.
Like, when the characters would die, I'm like, okay, like he's had like 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, well, when they reveal what happens with the I forget
Ford. and the Man in Black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, okay, like
Yeah, yeah. It was just kind of like, oh, like it was supposed to be this huge twist. Yeah. And I don't even know if I've watched all of season 1 as much as I've kind of watched like the important parts. In season 2, I've watched about half of, and I was like, this isn't that good. So maybe, hopefully, season 3 is resurrected. Because it has a good storyline, like a really good storyline, and it's Jonathan Nolan, like Christopher Nolan's brother, who's very talented. So yeah, and I know they just released the new trailer, but
I might watch the second season. I mean, God, I remember vaguely what happens in the first season. I haven't watched that since like the freshman year of college.
Yeah,
all in like a day or two. And I remember because everybody was just going off about how good it was. And it was okay, but I was not interested to kind of further go on with the show.
Yeah. There was a month or two period where everyone was like, "Do you watch Westworld?"
It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those shows that I think thinks it's a lot smarter than it really is.
Yeah.
Like I think they think it's like super trippy and like a Blade Runner type thing, and it's like you're not there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I did think Jeffrey Wright was pretty good though.
Yeah, he's a good actor. I'm glad to see he's coming back for the last Bond movie. They announced he's going to be in this last one. Yeah, he's going to be a major part of the plot apparently.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, him and James are going to be working together again. So it was just announced. Not a lot of details about it, but Black Mirror season 5's coming out. I think June 6th.
Yeah,
it's like 5th, I think, or something.
5th, yeah. Miley Cyrus, Anthony Mackie, yeah. There were a few other people. Is Topher Grace in it, or was that another?
I think I saw. Okay, I saw an image that looked exactly like him.
I think Topher Grace is in it. Yeah, Black Mirror's always good.
I love Black Mirror.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there. Like I rewatched the USS Callister not too long ago. So good. There's some definitely.
The entire history of you, I think, is the best.
That one's great.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of whether they're like good or not, I still like just how every episode is executed. Like it as a show, it's just entertaining to watch. Like a 2019, whatever year it came out, Twilight Zone, for us. So I think it's cool. I think these new episodes will be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they're not like Bandersnatch.
That
I
was
didn't like that.
disappointing. I don't even really count that as like Black Mirror.
Hours I spent on that for nothing to learn that nothing matters in my choices.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. But most of the episodes are pretty good. They're entertaining.
They always have really good actors. Actors play the roles really well.
Yeah.
But
I did not finish season 4. I need to probably finish that. Not that it's going to matter, but I think I finished Archangel and I was like, this sucks.
The very last episode that's on Netflix, I think, is pretty good. It's probably the best one in that season.
Hang the DJ? Or is that the one before that?
I heard that one's good.
Hang the DJ is really good.
Maybe I don't know. I'd have to go back and actually probably look it up, but I don't remember.
It's kind of hit and miss, but like I don't know. It's free and it's on Netflix, so like I'll definitely watch. I know there's only 3.
Oh yeah, I'll watch it.
So
I'll watch it day one, honestly.
But yeah, that'd be Black Mirror. Yeah, is kind of one of those things that it is kind of like the modern day Twilight Zone. You're right, Nolan.
I waited on it for so long too because it's so. I wish that there were more episodes because I really like the show. But I mean, I guess I could take 3 more. But I've been waiting on more. Because when I first started it, I think I finished the entire thing in like probably a matter of a couple days. Like I was grinding episodes. I was so hooked.
Yeah, I agree.
So, we'll see.
Yeah. Next, I just added it. But Stranger Things 3 is coming out this summer. I'm super excited for it, dude. I love the whole summer vibe that's going on.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Max loves it.
I'm going to watch it right at 3 a.m. all the way through. I'm so excited. I got my Stranger Things 2 poster right there.
That's what made me think to add it.
Yeah. I didn't watch the new trailer. I watched the first trailer that released because when season 2 came out, I didn't watch any trailer. I was like, I'm just going to watch it fresh. And then I was like, season 2 was okay. I wanted to at least get a little bit of a feeling of where they're going to head this all with. So I watched the first trailer, and I vaguely remember a lot about it. I know it's something to do with like the mall. I didn't watch this new trailer. I'm
I will. The new trailer you can watch. It's almost just like a clip. Like it's just a 2-minute clip, basically.
Yeah.
And it's more of like a gag. Like it's
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like them like at the pool.
Yeah. Well, I'm sad that they released all those character posters because it's like, damn, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go buy all those now. Except for Max and Billy. Max and Billy suck. Okay, they're not good characters.
Is Billy the asshole?
Yeah, Billy sucks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
That's funny.
I would actually be genuinely happy if they do what they did with Steve in season 2 and make him cool.
Dude, Steve's so
he was awesome. Yeah, in the new season.
But yeah, I really don't know where they're gonna go with the storyline like at all. But
yeah,
I trust the writers. I mean,
I trust them too, especially because they want to do like what, just 4 more seasons.
That's what I was gonna say. Is
that's interesting.
At what point do you guys think they overdo it? Because the kids are gonna be like 18 soon. Like it's gonna start.
Yeah.
So like, do they follow them to college? Like, at what point is it overdoing it? You know.
It just depends on what you have to tell.
Sad. Like that's the series finale is them parting ways and going to college.
It'd be perfect.
I don't know if I could do that.
They're finally getting out of Hawkins. Like,
that's true.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unless one of them doesn't do well in the SATs and just
probably be 11. Yeah, I wouldn't do very well.
11's awesome.
Yeah, she's never been.
If anybody, it would be Dustin.
Yeah.
Gets stuck in all
because he has a speech impediment, Max. It's fucking
no. He's got teeth.
Wow, jeez.
Or Will, because he's got like severe PTSD from everything.
Yeah, he like can't leave his mom's side.
He missed a couple of years in school. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I think summertime atmosphere is going to be the perfect.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
like what they're really going for.
Somehow they like. It's like nostalgic. Me watching it, and I'm like, I didn't even like witness that time period. But it's like, somehow they perfectly captured the nostalgia. You know what I mean?
The show was very like season 1 was. I like the story for season 1. Season 2 wasn't as good, but it's still like just it's a feeling that you get while watching it more or less.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
When you were saying like when do they take it too far? Like season 2 is all right, but there were some episodes where I was just like, what are we doing here? Like 11 with the gang members.
The origin 11 episode. That was awful.
That episode sucked.
Yeah, there's just some stuff where I didn't know.
This is beautiful. Look at that.
There you go, Max.
That is poster.
Max
so
just
cool.
left and bought that.
I was like, I'll be right back. This poster alone has me excited because that whole summertime.
Yeah.
It releases on the 4th of July. I'm just so
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
Thank you, Netflix.
And then last Falcon and Winter Soldier series was announced. They're gonna have the female director. I forget. She was like I forget. I know she had a lot of praise. I forget her name though.
I just had it out.
Yeah. It's going to be a 6-part miniseries, I think is what they said.
Yeah.
And they're bringing Zemo back. So, I mean, that's a pretty good recipe right there.
It's in because I wasn't sure if it was like going to be. It's in the future. I'm assuming this one is. Like it's continuing the story.
Well, they said Sam will wear the Captain America suit. This is what it's
okay.
Yeah. So
because all the shows like
What was that, Matt?
He's in jail.
Apparently, so the Daniel RPK guy was saying he heard rumors that Zemo is going to be a Hannibal Lecter type character, where they go and meet with him because they're trying to track down this like secret agent who's the bad guy. Because apparently the storyline is going to be some agent of like Hydra has infiltrated the U.S. government, and they're trying to figure out who it is. So they go to Zemo, like, hey, about like interrogating, like kind of in Silence of the Lambs, how they do it with Hannibal.
Well, he's already a manipulator, so.
Yeah.
I'd be happy if they go back to the Hydra plot line because I feel like that kind of got brushed over. With,
apparently they're going to have one of the like super soldier agents in it from Civil War. So, I mean, I think it'll be good.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah, especially it's not going to be a show. It's going to be like a 6-hour miniseries. So I like that.
Okay.
It's still going to kind of have a movie vibe. I bet
they just release it all at one go.
I'm
notice that all these streaming services are like doing some of them are doing like week by weeks. Don't do that. Just let
Yeah.
out on one go.
There's no point. You're already whatever.
Yeah. So on to movies now. I don't even know how to like state this. Robert Pattinson is kind of the new Batman. Like there's rumors that he's not.
I don't know what's going on.
Like, did you guys see the thing I sent you yesterday that apparently they're thinking about going back to Ben Affleck?
A mess.
Yeah,
dude.
Mess.
Yeah, I heard that.
Did
Which would be awesome. I still think that was the best option.
They said that they don't like Matt Reeves' script and they think it's jumbled, and apparently they're going to go back to Affleck and say, we like your script better and we'll like pay you if you come back and be Batman and direct it.
What do they know? Okay,
dude,
they don't even know what they want.
That's what I'm saying.
No, like, I don't know what's going on.
Matt Reeves is really talented. He's
very
really good. What he did with the Planet of the Apes trilogy, that was great.
And I mean, they've already like heard enough directors. Like, say what you want about Zack Snyder. I think he's a good director. He's an experienced director. They like didn't trust his vision. The dude that did Suicide Squad, I forget his name. He also made Fury.
David Ayer. Yeah.
He's a good director, and I think they had a lot of interference in his movie. And Joss Whedon, like, I just think that, I don't know. Just let the director do his thing.
Well,
like,
yeah, that's what to say.
None of the movies dangerous thing to do. To say like, oh, we don't like it. Like, you already said it to one person, and that person was that person literally was like, "Fuck you! You don't get my script. You don't get my movie. And you don't get me. I'm leaving." And now to the next person who's going to come in and like who's another good director, good writer, all of that, and you're going to tell him, "Oh, we don't really like your script either." Like, what do you want? Honestly,
and
I don't know.
The last two DC movies, James Wan, they let him do whatever he wanted. I get it, honestly, because it's just the most nuts movie I've ever seen in my life.
It was fun, yeah.
Huge.
It was so fun.
It was okay. And then you get Shazam, where they let David F. Sandberg clearly do whatever he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a huge.
That was also fun.
Success. Yeah, that was a fun movie. Now they're going to go back to do what we say. Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. And I mean, I like Ben Affleck, but like, the dude's an alcoholic. He's in and out of rehab. He has absolutely no interest in playing Batman.
He has a huge dragon or something tattoo on his back.
Like,
I love Ben Affleck. I don't care.
He's great. He's so good.
He's great, but awesome. his heart is clearly not in the DC universe, and I don't blame him either. Like,
not
he's
anymore.
Oscar-winning writer and director. So, like, I mean, get someone like Robert Pattinson, who's extremely excited to do it, or Matt Reeves, who's like this Batman fanboy, and just let him do his thing. Like, don't be begging someone who. Because I'm sure if they brought Affleck back, Affleck would be like, okay, you're getting one movie out of me, and then I'm done. And then it's just going to be the same shit show and 3 more.
But he'd probably be pissed off too because they already told him to fuck himself. So.
Yeah, he'd probably be like, give me $40 million. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
give me a $600 million budget.
Yeah.
They're just going to piss off everybody that's affiliated with the movie, and then it's going to end up being shit.
Like,
just stop interfering.
It just, and I at first was nervous about Robert Pattinson, but then the rumors about Nicholas Hoult came, and I'm like, please God, be Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I don't know why they. Well, obviously, like, they're clearly going to beef. If either one they pick, they're going to beef them up. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't know why people just straight go to the worst projects that these people, like, anybody gets casted in something huge, they go straight to the worst project they've been affiliated with and ignore everything good that they've ever done, especially in Robert Pattinson's.
Oh, how long ago was Twilight?
Situation. Yeah. Okay. Well, Twilight was so long ago, but look at what he's done recently. He's done nothing but like super indie art films that have been very successful.
And that's what I was reading, and that's what made me confident in him. I'm like, okay, he's going to care about this role a lot.
And if that's the vibe you want to go for, you're going to do that with Joker, go for your indie vibe. Then, okay, Pattinson just killed it in good time, so you want to do your indie vibe thing, let him go on screen and be Batman. Like, let him do his thing.
And they were saying that Reeves wants it to be less action Batman and more of the detective Batman, so he doesn't want his Batman super beefed up. So, like, Pattinson would be really good in that.
Yeah. Well, what does I don't even know if the executives at DC even know what DC stands for.
Dude, they probably fucking don't. They have no idea. They're like, well, can you just make like Batman fight like Darkseid? Like
Dark Side.
whatever's gonna
Bring
make
in
the most
Darkseid.
money.
Batman versus Dark Side.
Matt Reeves is probably sitting there like pulling his fucking hair out. Have you ever heard this story of this? Reminds me of like when Kevin Smith was making he was writing the Superman script. Have you ever heard him like tell this story on YouTube or anything?
No.
It's a really good
Was
story.
he
But
write a Superman movie?
yeah, dude, he Warner Brothers had hired him to write Superman. And he was like super excited because he's like the Superman
Which
stan
one?
and everything. It was in the early 2000s. It never came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
It
he
wasn't
wrote
the Nicolas
this.
Cage one, was it?
No, I don't think so. Or
I'm glad
maybe
it didn't come out.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't because that was no. Okay, so yes, so it was in the late 90s, and they had all these things, and they were like, he kept getting more and more. Like he would meet with the producer, and the producer's like, I don't want Superman to fly in this movie. And Kevin Smith was like, that makes Superman who he is. And he was like, no, I don't want him to fly. And then he was
not know what the original
they have no
tagline is
idea.
of the original Superman
They have
movie?
no idea. And then he was like, and I don't want him to have a suit in this movie. And Kevin Smith's like, what the fuck? And then at the end, he says how he told him, he's like, yeah, I know you want him to fight like Lex Luthor and Brainiac. He's like, I want you to have him fight a giant spider that's like robotic.
Is it a
And
joke?
no, dude, it's on YouTube. You can find it. And guess what movie came out a year later that the dude also produced was Wild Wild West, where they fight a giant robotic spider at the end. And the producer literally just really wanted to see a movie where they fight a giant robotic spider.
Who was this producer?
I forget his name, dude, but he's produced I'll find it real quick. But Kevin Smith was saying he went along with all of it, and then they ended up bringing Tim Burton in, and Tim Burton was like, I want my own writers, and Kevin Smith was like, Jesus Christ, and then just left. The producer is John Peters is his name. He just produced A Star Is Born.
Oh,
Nice.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
Moving up.
So yeah, he's a big he produced Superman Returns, of course.
I wasn't a big fan of the Star is Born scene where they fight the giant spider.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Seemed a little out of place.
Yeah, it wasn't super believable. I could see how it could happen, but
yeah. It didn't work for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's Warner Brothers like in a story. Like Warner Brothers has absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a good year for them.
Yeah, they don't know the stories. Like I'm sure they were like watching like the first Wonder Woman were like, "Oh my, you came up with this? Like this is great."
What?
Yeah, with Kevin Feige, I feel like Kevin Feige is this like Marvel fan and everything, so he just kind of is like, that's why the fans love him because he knows what the fans want. And like in-game
exactly. Well, that's the thing. They hire the fans. Like they hire fans.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they know what fans want. You know.
DC doesn't have that at all.
They just. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have fans to please. They just have fans to disappoint.
Who do you hire that's going to be a fan of Aquaman? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
James Wan's ever read an Aquaman comic in his life until he was hired.
I really thought when they hired Jeff Johns, who wrote the new 52 for DC, like kind of the reboot of the DC
that
comic.
Everything was going to be saved.
Everything was going to be saved, but from what I've heard, I don't think they like listen to him at all. Like I think they're probably in studio meetings and they're like, "Okay, Jeff, like all right." But he's supposedly like the assistant head of DC Films or something. I don't even know what that means though. Like I don't know who has what.
They had Joss Whedon come in too, and that didn't even work. It's
yeah.
It just goes to show that they're just showing like, hey, look at this name we have attached. Go see it, and then they don't listen to them at all.
Yeah. And they aren't learning because all the movies are making money. Like even Batman Superman made like $900 million. Like just. So the new Toy Story 4 preview came out today. I'm really excited for it, but this isn't grabbing me, the storyline here very much.
No.
And it seems really
I'm with
kind of nervous
That's my
Toy
biggest
Story
problem.
3 is like an all-time great, and like there's never been a bad Toy Story movie, and this new one looks very, I don't know.
They've yet to give me a reason to care that another one is coming out.
Yeah, I agree.
So far regarding the trailers and stuff, and even like the plot, like it's going to deal with them actually being alive. It's like, but I don't. Who wants to see that? Especially after it's like almost like an epilogue that goes way too far after you already had like a perfect ending. So that sweet money. That's what that's what it's coming across as to me. It's rather than this as good story is being told. It's about making money.
Yep.
Both trailers, I don't think I've watched the whole trailer. Like halfway through, I've been like, oh, I get it. Like the toy doesn't fit in, falls out, and they have to go find him. And then it's like, it doesn't, I don't know. Maybe if they were like hinting at like Woody dies or Buzz has to sacrifice, like that would give it a reason.
Don't say that.
I mean, you never know. You never know. At the end of the day, it's still Pixar. Like they could pull one out and it could be great, but I don't really care.
Yeah, so far it seems like very superficial storytelling.
It seems really generic. Like the thing doesn't, the person doesn't fit in, and everybody wants them to fit in. Whatever, gets lost type stuff.
Dude,
so far, it's literally seemed like Finding Dory.
If Woody, I'm like getting like emotional right now. I'm telling you right now, if Woody dies, listen, like that,
Max dies.
Woody gets ripped apart.
Sid comes back and gets his revenge. I don't think I'll be able to make it. That'll be way too much.
That would be the worst.
He dies the exact same way Iron Man does. It just
Woody just
Iron Man and Woody.
No, I don't think I could do it.
Toy Story.
Yeah,
bro, man.
Oh my God! Woody gets sent to like toy Guantanamo Bay. He's just getting tortured. They're like, "Where's Buzz?
Where's Buzz?"
Woody's like, "I won't give him up." Woody just fucking dies.
Bring out
that might happen. Never know,
dude. Because I feel like because Toy Story 3 is famous for being a big tearjerker, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pull some shit like that just to be like, oh well, this is gonna make you cry too.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it anymore. I don't know if I can do it.
But the previous
Buzz is gonna be laying there. His freaking helmet is just shattered. God.
So the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood trailer. I'm so excited for this movie.
Should be great.
Dude, talk about nostalgia. Like Tarantino just gets it. I don't know. He just knows like, and he said a lot that this is like, this movie defines him because he's grown up in LA. He was alive in like 1969. I think he was like 8 during the Sharon Tate killing and everything. So he like remembers it, and he's like been writing this movie for like 10 years. I don't know. I just don't see a scenario where this movie isn't like great.
No, I don't see it either.
Yeah.
Well, it premiered today and it's gotten good reviews.
It's gotten great reviews. So, and Al Pacino was in the trailer today, which was cool. Kurt Russell.
I mean, the cast is nuts.
Yeah, apparently Kurt Russell, a lot of people think he's playing the dad of his character in Death Proof, where he plays the stuntman.
I've never seen Death Proof.
I haven't either. His name in that's like Mike the Stuntman. A lot of people think he's playing like Bob the Stuntman. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, because like
that'd be cool.
He's talking to Brad Pitt's character about stunts in the preview. And then just because Tarantino always connects his movies a little bit, which is cool.
Yeah, he always has fun with it.
Yeah.
He just does what he wants, and that's what's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Like even if it could be totally like I don't think he's ever made one sequel, right? So it's Kill Bill and that's it, and everything else has just been its own thing.
Which
so,
he
like at the end of the day,
considers Kill Bill like one movie, I'm pretty sure too. So like
and I mean it's a 6-hour movie at the end of the day. But he does what he wants. He has fun with it. He directs insanely well. It's just a lot of. I mean, you could tell that he cares about filmmaking.
Yeah.
He just has fun doing it, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
His whole like concept's kind of cool. Like he's kind of a one-man universe. Like he makes all these movies in the same universe by his own rules, and kind of intertwines them all a little bit, but not like completely. And he like, I don't know, he like changes history in the movies too. You know how like in Inglourious Bastards they kill Hitler like in the theater and like good. A lot of people think like
He's in the trailer.
Dude, that was great. He hits him with like the flamethrower.
Yeah.
It's like the class. Those are literally like the classic action movies. He's like, did someone order some? What's he say? Like burnt sauerkraut or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Lights him up with a flamethrower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
And it's like the camera's shaking and Leonardo's just screaming.
we don't get to see Leo being funny a lot, dude, and he has been funny as fuck in both of the previews.
Yeah.
Like when he's in his trailer, like yelling at himself and shit. But I'm super excited for it. Margaret Robbie as Sharon Tate looks perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's gonna be great.
The dude that's playing Charles Manson looks eerily like Charles Manson.
I don't really know what he used to look like before he like went to jail and stuff. I just have like the image of him looking like a total insane person.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sharon, Margot Robbie, she looks perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we all know how that'll turn out.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if a lot of people think he's going to change that. Because I don't.
Okay, yeah, that would be interesting. Because obviously, talking about the Hitler stuff, that changes.
Yeah, and I feel like he would have to get like permission from Sharon Tate's, like, because I really doubt her family is going to want to see her gruesome, like murder on the screen. So I would think because usually you have to like deal with like the family estate there and stuff. Like that's why they can't make Michael Jackson documentaries and stuff, because his family like shuts him down. They can't include his name.
Well,
so
they did do the Leaving Neverland.
Yeah, and like Paris Jackson's trying to sue them and everything.
Yeah.
A lot of the rumors is people think like the Rick Dalton guy, Leo's character, is gonna like go over to Sharon Tate's house and like beat the shit out of like the Manson family members, and that'll be like his big career resurgence. Like him and Brad Pitt. I think that'd be really cool.
It's supposed to be a long movie, isn't it?
Yeah. Dude, I'd be fine with it being 5 hours. I don't care.
I hope so.
I saw a tweet today. This shit
I can watch Tarantino all day.
They were like, preview looks good, but Brad Pitt looks old as shit. It's like, first of all, he's wearing like a wig. Second of all, this man's like 56 and looks like he's like 30. Like, fuck off. Literally.
People are stupid.
Yeah. It's like a couple months ago when it was going around, people were like, Jack Nicholson looks like shit at the Lakers game. I'm like, he's like 85, dude. Like, let the guy just live. Let him do whatever he wants.
Wow.
But yeah. Do you guys want to talk about John Wick 3?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow now, I think.
Okay.
You're spoiler free.
We'll be spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
I thought it was very good. I still think the second one is my favorite. I think the second one, because I was watching it not too long ago, I was like, wow, this is just so good. The third one really ups the ante and the violence of it all, which was, I felt, probably necessary as it's the third movie series. I wish it had a little bit more finality to it, but honestly, it kind of makes sense that they would keep going, because I know they're doing like a concierge or continental TV show that's coming out.
Are they really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I guess they're really going to expand upon stuff. So I guess it makes sense that they're going to keep going, but it's long. I wouldn't say that I felt its length too much, only because, like, while it is for the most part nonstop action, the action is so well put together that it never really gets old to me. But there's this, you see a bit of it in the trailer, like when they're all throwing knives and stuff. That was the best part of the whole movie. It's like right off the bat, it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you.
Halle Berry pretty good in it?
It is amazing.
She was good. She was good.
Yeah, her scene is awesome. Her scene's great. It is amazing that it hasn't become stale, because essentially all three of these movies are exactly the same thing. Like, a guy just goes around and kills a bunch of people, which you would think that after he does it for the third time, it's like, oh, we've seen that right there, we've seen that. But they really do find ways to like make it fresh, and it's like Max said, it's filmed so cleanly that it's just, I mean, I don't know how you could watch it and not be entertained. Like, even if you don't give a shit about the story or anything, like just watching him massacre people is amazing. So it is extremely violent, but I had a ton of fun. It's just not like, for the most part, like he said, nonstop action, and everything is just filmed so well that it's just, regardless of whether you like the story or not, it's going to be entertaining. It's super fun time.
Mhm.
The knife shop scene is easily the best part, I think, and it's in like probably the first 15 minutes. But the scene with him and Halle Berry is great too. So there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More dogs.
It gets the dogs. Yeah, the dogs. I think it gets a little ridiculous at the end with what happens. I won't say what happens, but I was like, okay, what kind of lost me there. But
I mean, yeah, it is kind of. It's fantastic. Like you talk about a guy who doesn't miss the head every time he shoots a gun. So
yeah,
you know.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, they're fun. It's fun.
It is fun.
That was Nolan, you just went to like slow motion when you said it was fun.
It's
Fine.
Keep that in there. I could see it.
Yeah.
My connection's so bad.
I would just, because my main concern now would be like, now that they've gone full like top-notch violent, like they're really, from now on, they're just gonna have to keep upping the ante of
it's gonna get brutal.
It's gonna get even more brutal.
Turn into like, you gotta know when to quit.
Yeah, because the story is kind of, I would say, the weakest part. Because I mean, it's like, but who cares of the story? It's like you really got to keep upping the ante of the action to keep people invested, because no one really cares too much about the story. If you keep going and going and going, then it's just going to get even more ridiculous. And sometimes it does borderline that ridiculous stuff. Like there's some stuff that they do with horses in this where you kind of go,
yeah, but it's so
going
funny.
Full on. But it's funny and it was cool, but it's kind of like, okay, now they're starting to get a little too much. And I feel like if they keep going, that's
like what Die Hard did, basically.
If they keep going, it'll turn into Fast and Furious, honestly.
Yeah. You know, Die Hard is a very interesting series. It really is. Like, the third movie is just totally different. Like, they could have made that not even a Die Hard movie. It could just but that's a different discussion.
Those are always my favorite movies as a kid, dude. I thought Live Free or Die Hard was like, I'm like, this is probably the greatest action movie of all time.
Dude, yeah. Justin Long is a computer hacker.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Isn't there a scene, he, like, jumps out of, like, a fighter jet or something. And Live Free or Die Hard, like, just jumps, like, out of it onto the highway. Like, it's all good. Yeah. Oh, that shit is great.
We gotta talk about that.
It's amazing.
I would love to talk about those movies.
Isn't that one of those movies where he pulls the classic, like, villains behind him, so he shoots through himself? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's seen that in a while.
Yeah.
He goes, yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Yeah, just...
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Bruce.
Yeah. Then there's A Good Day to Die Hard.
Oh, man. That was like a made-for-TV movie. That was bad. Like, that was almost like Fantastic Four bad.
Yeah, I remember
the dialogue in that is brutal.
Yeah, I remember like looking forward to that movie big time.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Bad.
I wonder if they're making any other Die Hards. I haven't thought about Die Hard in a while.
Well, it's interesting because there's like a whole like commentary track of them for Live Free or Die Hard where Bruce Willis is like, yeah, I had this idea where he goes, is it John McClane? Yeah, he goes to Russia to go find his son, but that's just kind of stupid, so we didn't do it. And then they make that movie literally right after. I'll send it to you guys after this. It just goes to show that, you know, when you take a series like John Wick, where you actually have these people that are being creative with their action, and they're pushing the boundaries, maybe a little too far, but pushing it in good ways. And then you have an action series like Die Hard, where it gets way too ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it happens after. I'll give the first four credit. That the first four are decent. The second one probably being my least favorite. But
Die Harder.
That John Wick doesn't go PG-13, and that it doesn't go into A Good Day to Die Hard. Yeah,
you guys want to hear
they go
that?
NC-17.
I forgot they were this was released about a year ago, I think. So Die Hard 6 will be simply called McClane. Okay, that's a good start.
What?
It's going to have a 20-year-old John McClane and a 60-year-old version of John McClane, and it's going to intertwine the story and go between the both of them.
Yikes.
It was originally going to be called Die Hard Year One.
Oh, I see this.
No.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
One. What does that even mean?
Die
Why
Hard
couldn't we
Year
have got
One?
that?
Is he fucking Batman? Like, what?
What are you going to the first
Oh,
year?
it's gonna be
That doesn't
great.
make sense.
Who are they going to find that looks exactly like Bruce Willis at 20? Oh, just CGI
Joseph
him, dude.
Gordon-Levitt.
Or Joseph Gordon-Levitt. How great would a
Oh, yeah. CGI.
Well, it's
Am
like,
I just going in slow motion?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what would be the point? Like the whole point of like
I hate
Die
my
Hard
life.
is like it's just he was there at the wrong. Well, he was there, wrong place, wrong time. That kind of just put him in this
Yeah.
horrible situation.
after 5 movies, he's just got really bad luck.
What does everything happen to him?
Yeah.
Like even when he was 20, like how many cataclysmic events can happen to him in this lifetime? I don't know. God, it's just
They're still so funny though. Like if you still watch Live Free or Die Hard, you're like, these are so
I need
great.
to rewatch
He's
that.
spying on his daughter at college.
Yeah.
um, But yeah, so and then next week we decided we're gonna do a 1984 theme because Terminator: Dark Fate is having its first trailer. 1984
Yeah.
Terminator came out,
Mhm.
and this is gonna finally be the Terminator movie to correct the storyline after Judgment Day, right?
I hope.
Yeah. Pray to God.
Probably.
Yeah. James Cameron's gonna praise it again as soon as it comes out.
Well, didn't
Yeah, it's gonna be
Genesis
awful.
like try and go back to the very first movie? Well, that was the whole point of Genesis, right? It like went back
Yeah.
to the first movie.
Genesis, I think, wanted to undo Judgment Day, and people were like, "That's like the best
Why?
one." Yeah, that makes no
Easily
sense.
the best.
And now they have to make one
Yeah.
to undo Genesis.
Yeah.
God.
So, remember Terminator Salvation? It was just a shit show on the set. Sam Worthington and
That's a
Christian
classic
Bale.
video.
Yeah.
Classic. Oh,
Yeah.
audio really is no video.
Yeah.
Classic.
But all right, that's it for this week. Anyone have anything else to add?
No, but I'm stressed now with everything we're talking about. It seems like everything sucks.
Don't want Woody to die.
No. I don't know if I could. God, I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to see that alone then, because I wouldn't be surprised if they do that.
Max is gonna be pushing 3-year-olds like out of the way, like out of the movie theater, screaming, "That fucking sucked!"
Oh man, you could ask my dad how Toy Story 3 went when we went to go see it, because I was a wreck.
I think I dressed up as Buddy or Woody and Buzz for like my first 6 Halloweens. Like I just
Oh
alternated.
yeah,
every year.
I was Woody. I don't think I was ever
Yeah.
Buzz.
Yeah. But, all right, that's it for this episode. Max was never Buzz.